Hi Libra, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing your love predictions for February 7th all the way through March 4th. This is going to apply to Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Specifically Venus because this is a love reading. And let me think. Before I get into anything, I just want to disclaim very quickly that this is a general reading. It's not going to apply to everyone, and that's okay. Take it all with a grain of salt. Use your discernment and your critical thinking while watching this video, and most of all, have a good time, enjoy yourself, have a snack, or have some breakfast, or have some lunch whenever you're watching this, and have some water, okay? Drink lots of water. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, okay? So I'm using the Spacious Tarot. I'll be linking it down below if you are interested in checking it out, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So what's going on for Libra in their love life, February 7th through March 4th? What's going on for Libra in their love life? Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. So two cards fell out. So we have the Six of Wands. Right? Six of Wands. The Moon. Ten of Cups reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. Taurus also got this. The Seven of Swords reversed. Okay. And the Two of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance. And under that, the Nine of Pentacles. So let's go ahead and get started. So what's going on, Libra? I almost said Taurus. What's going on, Libra? So we have the Six of Wands. And the feeling that I get with this is someone putting up a facade, a mask of happiness, of victory, of excitement, of pride, but like not a bad pride, but like being proud, like being happy to be in a certain relationship, being proud of the person that is by their side, that sort of thing. And the Six of Wands it just feels like someone is putting up a mask that they're happy, that they're feeling good, that they're proud of their partner, that they feel that they've made a good choice in their partner, right? But I have the Moon and I have the Ten of Cups reversed, and I feel as though there might be something deeper going on here. Because the Moon talks about secrets, it talks about illusions, and things kind of being in the dark, things being hidden from you. And with the Ten of Cups reversed, I feel like this is talking about the real sentiments, the real feelings, right? The thing that is suppressed, because the Moon also talks about suppression, and it talks about the subconscious, if you will. So having the Ten of Cups reversed next to this Moon, I really feel as though that Libra, you or the other person in this relationship or in this dynamic might not entirely be satisfied or happy. I feel that someone is putting on a mask of happiness and joyfulness and like perhaps even boastfulness, but like boastful, like in a good sort of way. Although there might be some form of overcompensation with that, Libra, whether it's you or the other person trying to overcompensate for the lack of feelings or for the overall dissatisfaction within this relationship dynamic or whatever dynamic this is for you. And I see just a lack of fulfillment, a lack of emotional fulfillment. It almost kind of feels like you feel that you were promised something and that promise wasn't delivered, and so now you feel a little bit stuck in some way. And with the Seven of Swords reversed, it kind of feels like you were lying to yourself about how happy you are about things. maybe there's a certain truth that you don't want to accept, or maybe you don't want to admit that you are not happy. Maybe you don't want to really acknowledge that things aren't the way that you wanted them to be. And I just feel that with the Seven of Swords, you might be feeling a little bit isolated, or like you just don't really belong in some sort of way. Here in the Seven of Swords, we have all these swords, right? They're all together, and then there's this one sword, and instead of having a straight line, it's super jagged. So this to me just feels like feeling alienated in some sort of way, feeling almost like an outcast, or feeling misunderstood, feeling like your feelings aren't really acknowledged or understood in some sort of way. Or maybe you just not understanding your own feelings and how to go about things, and not wanting to admit to yourself that, you know, like I said, that you might not be happy or anything along those lines. And I feel with the Seven of Wands reversed, this to me kind of just feels like wanting to give up. And for some of you, I feel like you might not have been in this dynamic for very long. And I feel that already you're not all that happy. And with the Seven of Wands reversed, this to me kind of just feels like, okay, like you want to give up. Like you're kind of over it. You don't really feel like trying anymore, or, you know, you're putting in the bare minimum, and maybe you're telling yourself that you've put in a lot of effort, but have you really? Similar to Taurus, have you really put in a lot of effort? Or are you putting in the bare minimum, saying, well, if it's not going to work out, then that's just fate. You know, I just have to accept my fate. Is it really, you know, which way is it? And I feel with the Seven of Wands reversed, there's just this overall thing of like wanting to give up, or feeling like you are not strong enough, feeling like you are not able to conquer. And like that is the shadow side of everything, right? Because here we have the Six of Wands, being proud, being happy, feeling victorious. And then under that is the Seven of Wands reversed of like wanting to give up. Maybe some of you feel as though you don't really deserve to be happy. You don't feel like you really deserve to be, I don't know, like you just don't, maybe you feel like you just don't deserve this relationship. For some of you, I feel as though both you and your partner might be putting on the image that you are not happy. Maybe you and your partner are trying to convince everyone else that you're happy, when really that is the complete opposite with this Ten of Cups reversed. And maybe both of you are both lying to yourselves, saying that you are happy. And maybe it's kind of become an unspoken truth between you that both of you aren't happy, but it's not really addressed on a physical manner. Like there isn't really any sort of discussion. You're just kind of trying to ignore the situation at hand and hoping that maybe it'll get better over time or something. Because this to me, this Two of Cups reads to me as like you and the other person. And having the Six of Wands is like, that is the image that you are trying to portray. And with the Seven of Swords reversed right next to it, it's like lying to yourself that this is a happy relationship, that this is harmonious, and that this is a quote-unquote soulmate connection. And this and that and the third, but really it doesn't seem that way. And I wonder why. Why do we have this energy? Also, having Temperance at the bottom of the deck as the overall energy. I don't know if I said this earlier, but having Temperance to me talks about moderation, a need for balance, a need for patience and compassion, and learning how to basically merge two extremes in order to find a happy middle ground. However that might apply to you, is like there has to be some sort of middle ground that needs to be found. Not necessarily a compromise, although that very well could need to happen, but this to me just talks about like just two extreme circumstances or two extreme people needing to come together to a middle ground so that everyone is happy. Okay, I guess that's what compromise is. Whatever. All right, so I want to know, Libra, why do we have the Seven of Wands reversed? Why do we have this energy? Why do we have the Seven of Wands reversed and the Seven of Swords? What is this? Why is Libra feeling this way? What is this overall energy? Can we get further context behind this energy of wanting to give up, of feeling isolated? Can we clarify the Seven of Wands reverse, please? Why do they feel this way? All right, we have the King of Cups reversed, or the Elder of Cups reversed, to clarify the Seven of Wands reversed. Okay, so the reason some of you might be wanting to give up is because your partner might be a little bit emotionally unavailable to you, or maybe even a little bit insensitive. Maybe they lack empathy towards you, right? Maybe at first this person presented themselves as very emotionally available, and they presented themselves as very loving and empathetic and compassionate and patient and willing to provide very emotionally sound advice. Maybe this person came off as very emotionally mature, and they knew how to regulate themselves emotionally and, you know, kind of handle themselves and carry themselves in a very diplomatic, mature way. But I feel that that image, that illusion kind of fell away once things became official, or once you further got to know them, and now they're coming off as very emotionally unavailable, very aloof, very indifferent. They don't really care much, insensitive. Maybe they may be saying things that are just like mean, or just like really, you know, they didn't really think it through. But, and then like even if you do end up addressing and be like, hey, that was really mean, they're like, okay, well, like they just seem like they don't really care. And that's what that's what that kind of feels like, is like you wanting to give up because this person has, I don't want to say has shown their true colors, but they've shown a different part of themselves that you were not expecting. And so now you don't really know what to feel. Now you don't really know who this person really is, because maybe this person was the Six of Wands. Maybe this is the person that you were talking about, right? Maybe it's not you who was pretending to be happy, although you very well could be at this point. But maybe in the beginning, this person was pretending to be this victorious sort of person, very open and charismatic and exciting. And as you further got to know them, you discovered a shadow side sort of person, sort of thing. And now we're here and we're like, oh shit, like I don't like this anymore. I don't want, but now maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you feel trapped in this relationship, or maybe you feel like you have to stay in it for whatever reason it might be. But I see with the Seven of Wands reverse, it's like it's almost like you've completely given up on hope, but at the same time you're trying to lie to yourself, or you're trying to convince yourself that you do love this person, and that, you know, like whatever, like it's almost like you're trying to rationalize everything, and that's just like not really how, it's just not working. So let's clarify the Seven of Swords reversed, please. So what is the Seven of Swords reversed, please? Four of Pentacles fell out. Okay, so it has grown comfortable then. It's grown comfortable, and maybe that's why some of you are trying to convince yourselves that you are happy in this relationship or in this dynamic, because you have grown comfortable. And some of you might be in a little bit of a lack mentality, thinking that you will never have a relationship again, thinking that you'll never be happy again without another person. And that's just not the case. I promise you, there are plenty of fish in the sea. You will be able to find someone else. Just because you don't think so at this time doesn't mean it won't happen. And I feel like you're really lying to yourself and trying to trick yourself into like staying in this relationship because you've convinced yourself that you won't find someone else who will make you happy. But it's like, if this person isn't making you happy, then why are you trying to convince yourself that you are? You know, is having that relationship so important that you are willing to basically compromise yourself, and perhaps even your morals, your integrity, your dignity, perhaps, whatever it is, right? Are you willing to compromise those things because you really just want to be in a relationship? And I feel like it's just really important for you to remember that this isn't the end all be all. A lot of the people who watch my videos are young, you know, like you're in your 20s and you've already convinced yourself that you are not going to be happy. Even if you're in your 30s or in your 40s, you know, we've like really convinced ourselves that like, oh, like this is the relationship for me. I can't leave, right? Because no one else is going to find me attractive. How do you know that? Did you meet every single person? You know, did you like go out of your way to talk to every single person in your town, in your city, or whatever? And like, what sort of analysis, what sort of research, what sort of logic has brought you to that conclusion? Because it's not a fair conclusion to make, because a lot of the time that conclusion is made out of our own insecurities and our own fear and our own complacency and comfortability in our lives. So, you know, ask yourself that, and, you know, work on no longer trying to rationalize why you should stay in a relationship that just isn't happy, and that, you know, like you isn't necessarily going to work out in your favor. So I feel like it's important for some reflection time, Libra, so that you can really figure things out and how to approach the situation, and just know that if you do end up, you know, deciding to leave or whatever, like, this isn't going to be the last relationship of your life. I promise you it's not going to be. Like, it's not. All right, so wait, what am I doing? Let's get into advice for you. So what advice can we give, Libra? Oops. What advice can we give, Libra? Alright, 2 cards. Alright, we have the Child of Wands reversed, which is also known as the Page of Wands reversed. And we have Death. So, transformation, evolution, letting go of past sentiments, letting go of the past in general, letting go of past habits and past old beliefs, anything that is outdated. I feel like it's time to outgrow. You have to enter a new phase of your life, of your existence at this time. And with the Page of Wands reversed, I love this card. This is so beautiful. It's so sleek. Page of Wands reversed. This to me talks about feeling uninspired. And with the Child of Wands reversed, it also talks about kind of like an overall sense of inexperience. And I feel like you kind of have to remind yourself that you might not be the most experienced in life, and that's okay. And I feel that you learn through experience, and you learn through life and through changes and through different circumstances that come to be. So I feel like don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so self-deprecating or anything like that, or thinking that you'll be single for the rest of your life and you'll never find someone, because that's just not realistic. And I feel like don't put all of your fire into this one person when you know that you are not entirely satisfied. Like, don't give your all into this situation that you're not satisfied in, because you're wasting away your energy for something that you could be doing for something else. Like, you're wasting away energy that you could be doing for something else. I don't know why I complicated that sentence. I just don't know how to speak. That's really what that reads to me. Don't waste your energy. Don't exhaust your energy, your fire, your passion, your excitement, your creativity for something or someone that just isn't really worth it. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it kind of talks about like letting go of control and knowing that everything will work out, but also going with the flow in terms of like resisting, like no longer resisting any sort of change that needs to happen. And I feel like that's kind of what really needs to happen right now, is some sort of change, some sort of evolution of the mind or something. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope this was helpful. I hope it resonates in some sort of way. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone else who needs to hear this. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications to know when I upload. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So, with that being said, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye.